Hey guys, what I'm going to talk to you today about is how to deal with a customer and what I did to actually ensure that customer was happy with my service after the first hour so I can charge for this quote. So I'm going to kind of act it out a little bit because I know a better way. However, so the phone rings, you go, hello, so-and-so building, how can I help you? And Mr. and Mrs. Smith ring up, right? And what I always do is ask them a little bit about that, what they want. Would you like, what are you trying to do to ensure that it suits the way I actually, or the niche in the market that I do. So it could be, let's say it's an extension. Okay, where do you live? I'm going to come out and let's have a quick look at your home. Right, keep it short and make a time. The most important thing about that phone call is that you make a time that you have the two people or one person, whoever the decision maker is there. Now, if it is a husband and wife, you kind of need to find that out. Do they have kids? You kind of don't want the kids there and you don't want the dog there. It's a distraction. So basically what you're looking to do is make a meeting with if it's a couple, the two people that are either the owners of the house. The next thing I try and find out is, are they the actual owners of the house, or it is that their mother-in-law's house, or whatever it is. If you can find that out as early as possible, it basically, then you know who the contract is going to be drawn up with down the track. So, yep, okay, I'm going to be here at this time, so on. Now, the most important thing about that conversation is ensuring those two people are there and you're there on time. If you're going to run 2 minutes late, you need to call them and say, hey, I got caught up in traffic. I'll be 2 minutes late. That is actually a benefit than actually turning up exactly on time, because it shows that you're concerned about the customer's time. And that means a lot, and it's a big trust building exercise. Okay, so in the next video I'm actually going to show you what I do when I turn up to the client's house and the things that I say so that you guys can get your job done more efficiently and hopefully get more contracts signed and better projects. Okay, so now's the critical point, because you need to be prepared. Have everything ready to go. You tape everything. Don't fumble around in your car, because efficiency is what the customer's looking for at this stage. When you get up to somebody's house, take your shoes off. It shows respect. So obviously between getting out of the car and here, I've said hello, I've introduced myself, and I've kind of made a little bit of eye contact. Is really important. But I want to kind of move forwards reasonably quickly. I've got an hour that I can give this client. So what I really want to do is try and get something so that they can actually see what I'm going to be delivering for them. So I simply just grab my laptop, open it up, and plug it in. And don't mess around with the TV. If you're not really good at this, practice it a few times. But basically, you want to have everything set up on your computer, open, ready to go. So simply, you can go and push play. So really what I want to do is I actually just want to go in, go right click, play animation. And what I'll be explaining to the customer now is, this is what I usually would show all of my customers. And this is the last job that I did. So it's an example of a project I've done before. I actually have it on my website as well. So I might just quickly let them have a look at a 3D model and how, and let them visualize themselves with me doing this for them as a project. Now there's some really important things that I like to show customers. I like to start with the block at the first scene, and then I will go through different things about the model. And obviously I want to show a really nice shot to start. And I might turn my shadows on and make some small little moves. But more importantly, what I'm trying to figure out from the customer is, who is the dominant one? Basically, you'll always find that there is a customer that will be the one who makes the decisions, whether it be the husband or the wife. And you kind of need to figure that out. And usually you can tell by the one who invites you through the door or whatever it is. And judging by the type of customer that you're dealing with, it's a good idea to deal with the passive customer first. So in this case here, what I actually do is I might show them the cinema or the garage for the motorbikes, all of those type of things if it's the husband. And then that kind of pacifies or gets them on scene to show that you do care about what both customers want. And the next thing I would do is I would walk them into the kitchen. You notice I'm not playing with the computer too much. All I'm really doing is just going from next scene. And you could use a mouse to do that, or you could use like a Logitech clicker. Once I've sort of shown them both of the customers what I think that they're going to want to know, I'll obviously be talking back and forth as I do it. And I do want to really listen to what it is that they say. So I would ask them directly, what is it that you're looking for to be done? And do you have a budget associated with this? Because then I can get an indication of how realistic those people are. And they might even say, well, hey, we don't like this particular type of job. And I might go to my website and show a couple of other photographs. Or you could pre-prepare some photographs from Instagram or Google Images or anything like that, so you could have a quick look at 5 different styles of homes. Now guys, it's really important to actually have a point of difference from your other customers. And what I usually do is I'll walk the customer through the project and I'll take them into, say, the bedroom, and I might show them something like shadows, how the light will actually come into the home and at what time of day. And I might show them a few different things because the customers really like to see this type of information. They go, wow, this guy knows a lot about construction. But as you can see, I'm just clicking a button. I've just set it up first. And I'm just showing them things that I can deliver over other builders. One thing that's really important when you go and meet a client is to ensure that you are not actually starting to do their job. You're selling yourself, you're meeting the customer, and they're meeting you for the first time. It's kind of like a blind date. And you want to know whether you want to go out with this customer again, basically. Now guys, I only ever give my clients 1 hour for free because everything after that hour is essentially work. I'm finding out what they want. We're starting to draw out the information required, and that is part of the job. It is really important that you listen. Bring a diary with you, write things down because it shows the customer you are listening and you are recording things. But in that first 1 hour, what you need to do is get across the point that you are a professional. That you, and inside of your head, you should be thinking, I am the guy that's going to build the best quality house for these people. And showing a certain amount of assertiveness in your, I guess, belief in yourself and as a builder, as a quality builder. Now, once you can assert that, and you can usually tell when customers are starting to nod, when customers are sitting here like this and looking away, pretty much you haven't done what you need to do, and that is actually make them feel as though you're one of the top candidates to do their home. And remember that customers are spending probably the most amount of money in their entire life on what you're about to deliver. So it is important that you are very professional without looking, you don't want to turn up with a massive big logo down the front of your shirt. A simple logo about your business, preferably a good quality shirt, and you don't want to look too flash. And so guys, where do I go to now? You go, okay, you've got the respect, you've got everything like that. Guys, I actually get a preliminary contract and I bring it with me. Now, I do not ask the client to sign that contract now. But what a preliminary contract allows us to do is to find out more about their property. So for instance, we need to get a site survey. We might need to understand the type of soil we're going to work on before we can even start to think about plans. We might need to look through the council's website and figure out all the restrictions for a development application. All of that is paid work. So what I do is I actually put a preliminary contract in front of that client that clearly explains that this is what you're agreeing to pay. And I would also say I'm going to deliver a 3D model. It's part of our services, how we communicate with our customers, and it's also how we figure out the cost of construction. Now the key to some of the things are talk to the person, look them in the eye. Bring along what's required. Even though I probably wouldn't use a tape measure on the first meeting, sometimes I would bring it along as well because it's kind of like a prop, I guess. And also the way that you act. Don't walk slowly, don't talk too fast, but just be efficient in everything you do because that portrays the way that you will build. Okay, so the next thing I do is after I've left the job, I'll go back and I'll quickly send an email. Thanks very much for your time. I look forward to working with you in the future. And I would also send an invoice because I'm not going to do anything further on this job until I actually get a part payment for the work that is going to be required to move us to the next level. And yes, you're probably thinking, wow, you're really rushing the customer, but what I'm actually doing is I'm being efficient with my own time, but I'm also showing the customer that I am efficient. Guys, that's it for today, but subscribe to the channel below and find out some really good tips on how to make the most out of your construction company. Cheers.